So what do you want your life to be like? I mean, honestly, right here, right now, if you could be living the most successful life of your dreams, whatever that dream may be, what would that look like? Now you realize that you have within you a power. There's a presence within you that can help motivate you and move you towards living that life of unparalleled success. It's this divine spark that lives within you. It's the perfect potential of God that radiates from you in all moments. Now, here at Unity Church of Overland Park, we call that perfect potential the Christ. And Christ nature, the Christ presence. But know that it goes by many, many, many names. And it really doesn't care or matter what you call it. But it's all that same principle. It's that guiding presence of God within you. And what I'm sharing with you right now, this isn't anything new. You know, teachers, spiritual teachers throughout the ages have told us this. For thousands of years, we've been hearing trust in God. If you only have faith the size of a mustard seed, it's Christ in you that is your hope of glory. We've been hearing this for a long time. So can we just go ahead and put that one to bed and agree that the presence of God in your life will help move you into a greater understanding of your life? We can go ahead and agree on it. Good. Good. Because what I want to do today is I want to talk about how we can take that presence and how we can harness it and focus it in our lives. How we can take that presence and allow it to move us into a place where we are really and truly living a life of unparalleled success. Where we're really, truly capable of doing the work that we need to do to live that life. And that's right, I said work. Because it's not just something that we can sit around and pray and hope and it's just going to magically show up. The truth of the matter is that's not really how that presence of God works within us. It might nudge us. It might inspire us. That presence of God can provide you with amazing energy to do more than you'd ever thought possible, as I'm sure the three of you realized as the term was drawing closer to the end and papers were mounting. That presence of God can give you that energy to do that. But we have to be the ones to take the action. I'm guessing God didn't write your papers for you. If God did, we need to talk because you got different treatment than I did, and that's not fair. You see, never forget the fifth unity principle. That fifth principle that says, through thought, word, and deed, I live the truth that I know, and I make a difference. You see, we have to take action about these things that we hear. It's not enough to just sit and hear them. We have to move into doing them in our lives. And you know, there are so many ways that you can connect with that presence of God. You can connect through prayer. You can connect through giving of your time, your talent, your treasure. You can connect through studying the wisdom of spiritual teachers. But one of the things that we know is very, very powerful is the power of affirmation. The power that seems to happen when we find an intention and we set that intention, and then we move forward in our lives trying to fulfill that intention. When we have a personal vision for where we want our life to go and how we want our life to be. You see, there's so much that goes on in the world, and we're distracted by so much. I mean, even now, I'm up here and I'm looking at all of you, but out of the corner of my eye, I see cars going by and birds fluttering, and there's so much that it occurs to me doesn't really do a whole lot to help inspire me to completing my vision. It's easy to get distracted. But if I have a clear vision statement, if I have a clear idea of where I want to go in my life, well, then those distractions don't seem to be as distracting. They tend to not pull you away as much. Now, one of the things that's going to be very important for you as you discern what it is that's mine to do, what do I want my life to be like, is to make sure that whatever statement you come up with, whatever vision you have for your life, is that it's clear, that it's direct, it's to the point, that it's not just sort of ambiguous and floating out there. I mean, I get it. We all want to be the Christ. That's what we all want to do. We all want to move towards that realization of that Christ nature. But we all want that. Tell me specifically, what is your life going to look like when you fully realize your Christ potential? What's going to happen in the world around you? How will you move and act and interact with those people in the world around you? That's what your vision is. That becoming the Christ presence, that's the vehicle to get you there. The real question to ask to find out what your vision for your life is what do I want my life to be like? Not what do I want or what should my life be like, or what do other people think my life should be like, but what do I want it to be like? And the answer to that question helps point you to what that vision could be. But remember the importance of keeping it specific. You know, I've heard countless unity teachers, Edwene Gaines, Eric Butterworth, Emily Cady, even Charles and Myrtle Fillmore talk about the power in having specific, direct affirmations and stating clearly and concisely what you want. And really, if you want to think of it this way, I kind of like to think of a vision as sort of a long-term affirmation for how you want your life to be. And just like those affirmations that we want to manifest in our life, when we're working with this vision, you have to nurture those seeds daily. Now, I started to say, just like these plants that are up here, you have to water them, although I suspect these plants would do just fine if we didn't water them. But just like a seed that's growing in the garden, it needs to be cared for and nurtured. So you need to check in with that vision. How are you doing? Does it still even apply to you? Is it still guiding and directing your life? And so I know there's probably some of you out there that are going, okay, Brandon, you've sold me. I'm ready. I understand there's a power in creating a vision statement. There's a power in having a guiding principle for my life. But I don't have the first clue how to begin to find out what that is. I know I was that way for a long time. I understood it was a powerful practice, but I didn't know how to create a statement or create what my vision could be. Remember back to that question I asked you at the start of our time here together. What do you want your life to be like? Not what should my life be like. Not what if I had enough money would I do with my life. But right here, right now, what do you want your life to be? And the answer to that question helps point you towards your vision. Now, I also know that there's probably some of you out there that are going, this is great, but I already have a vision statement. I could have slept in a little bit longer. I didn't need to hear this. What I would say to you is revisit the statement that you have. These things change. I know that my vision where I'm at right here today is not the vision I had last June. So just revisit. Ask yourself that question. Does this still apply? Is this still how my life needs to work? It's that personal guiding statement that can help make a difference in your life as you're moving through things. As those ups and downs happen, as the world changes around you, having that guiding principle helps direct you. It works just like that third principle. It's got that magnetic attracting energy that will draw to you the things you need to complete your vision. And just as it's important for us to individually have an idea of what we want our lives to be like, when we gather in communities, it's important for those communities to have an idea, to have that guiding principle. Because otherwise what I've noticed happens is we end up sort of like that plastic bag that's just floating around in the breeze, and then the wind blows it this way, and then it blows it back that way, and it doesn't really have a clear direction of where it's going. And so it's important for that community to come together and to say, well, what is our vision going to be like? What do we want to manifest as a group? Now, I have heard loud and clear that this community does not desire to go into another visioning exercise. We've done that. We have that information. For a second, I almost thought about telling you that, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have these groups, and we're going to get your vision, and then we're going to talk about the vision, and then I was going to tell you I was kidding, and I said we didn't even do that. So what we did is I took a team of our staff members here, and we took all of that information that we've gathered from you over the years, from conscious conversations, from one-on-one meetings, from stuff that I was sitting in my office and heard you say that you didn't know I was sitting in my office listening to you say. And we took all of that wisdom that we knew was already here, and we sat down and we talked about what we wanted Unity Church of Overland Park to be, and where we wanted it to go, and where we felt like this ministry was capable of going. And it was all based on the things that you'd told us. And so we sat in prayer. And we listened. And we allowed words to come to us, phrases to come to us, and we wrote those words down. And then the staff said, okay, what do those words mean? And we wrote those down. And we came up with a date, 12/31/17. You see, December 31st, 2017 is going to be a very important date in the history of Unity Church of Overland Park. Because on December 31st of 2017, Unity Church of Overland Park will be an authentic, vibrant ministry. By December 31st of 2017, Unity Church of Overland Park will demonstrate a deep connection to Spirit. It will demonstrate a deep connection to one another. Now, why this idea of 12/31/17? Well, what I realized was that it was important when we were working on this vision to give ourselves a date, to say that by this day we will do this. Otherwise, it's just kind of hanging out there on the end, and we'll get to it eventually, but there was no real driving force. There was nothing to motivate us and pull us towards that date. It's kind of like that idea of, well, I'll be the Christ. That's my vision. I'm going to be the Christ, but without any clear definition of what that looks like. And so we've come up with a guiding statement for where we would like to go here at Unity Church of Overland Park, and it's behind me on the screen. So by December 31st of 2017, Unity Church of Overland Park is a vibrant, authentic community, demonstrating a deep connection to Spirit and to one another and to each other. This is where we're going. This is what we're creating here. Would you say that with me? By December 31st, 2017, Unity Church of Overland Park is a vibrant, authentic community, demonstrating a deep connection to Spirit and to each other. This is what the future of Unity Church of Overland Park holds. And what I'd like to do is actually just pull out some of these key words, because as I said, the staff that worked on this, we wrote down the words that we'd heard from all of those conscious conversations and what they meant. And so you can probably pick some of them out. The first one that's up there is vibrant. It was clear we wanted this to be a vibrant ministry. And when we went into that prayer and that meditation time, it was Reverend Bob that said he just had this image of just a beating heart, of an aliveness to this community, of a joy that permeated everything that we did here, both in the colors and the way the ministry looks and the way we interact with each other. And you can already see some of that vibrancy starting to show up. We have beautiful new banners in our sanctuary. There's a beautiful art piece behind the reception counter. So that vibrancy is starting to show up. The next phrase that we saw up there was authentic. And oh, did we have some fun conversations around authenticity. Because I don't know if you know this about ministers, but we're a very loving group. And we love each and every one of you. And we so desperately want to try to meet every single one of your needs. And what we've realized is that sometimes when you do that, and this is true for your personal life as well, it's not just ministers that do this, but when you try to meet everybody's needs, you end up not being authentic with who you are. And so we had a conversation about what it meant to be authentically Unity Church of Overland Park. And that we were going to unapologetically be Unity Church of Overland Park. And for us, what that means, and what we heard you saying, is that you wanted a clear tie to Unity's teachings, to Unity's philosophy. And so we are going forward going to be unapologetically Unity. In our classes, and what you hear on Sunday morning. And that doesn't mean we won't offer classes about other things, but the majority of our classes, our focus is going to be on Unity's teachings. Folks, these teachings are deep if you allow them to take you to that level. And then the other word that stood out for us was connection. We wanted this to be a place where like-minded people could come together to connect and grow in spirit. And that connection was something that could happen in a small group meeting. That it was something that could happen during prayer circles, during classes. That connection to spirit happens more than just between 11 and noon on Sunday morning, or 9 to 10 on Sunday morning. That it happens throughout the week. And that we would be striving to offer those opportunities for connection. And so this is where we're going. This is the future of Unity Church of Overland Park. And it is an exciting time to be here. It's an exciting time for what we're going to do. And what we know is that as each one of us begins to connect with that presence of God within you, as each one of us begins to move from that presence of God, that we'll all collectively begin to work towards creating this vision for Unity Church of Overland Park. And so it's my hope that you will all join us and all support us as we make this place the community and the church that we know it's capable of being. And the place that we can look back on and say we're proud of what we created here. I would also ask you to share your personal visions. Share your visions with each other. Share them with us. Because we want to support you, just as you'll support us in realizing this vision, we want to support you in living a life of unparalleled success. So share your dreams with us so that we can support you in manifesting those. Because the truth of the matter is that whatever it is that you're dreaming, whether it's the right and perfect ministry or a new career or a beautiful family, whatever your vision is, all you really have to do is set that intention, set your destination, and then allow that presence of God to move within you and guide you to that destination. Our destination here at Unity Church of Overland Park has been set. And so now the countdown to 12/31/17 begins. And I hope you join us for it. God bless you.